Hello and welcome. This is Bhuvan Unhelkar. Let's have a look at the second assignment. It's a very important assignment and it constitutes half the marks that we have put aside for this subject. So it's 50%. And it's going to require a fair amount of work from you, but you will also get a lot of value out of it. This assignment is due in the last week of this subject, and you have to make use of all the seminars that we have studied, plus all the discussion forums and assignment 1. So you will find that I have marked your assignment 1 and provided you with feedback in such a way that you can actually expand and edit and modify your assignment 1 and make it into assignment 2. There are of course some areas that we are not checking in assignment 2 or not developing further in assignment 2. For example, you have learned the important aspects of functional modeling, so we may not get you to write use cases or activity graphs in this particular assignment. In a way, assignment 2 is directed more at a overall professional organizational level rather than at a project level. And so together the two assignments will provide you with very valuable material for whatever you may want to do in practice. Now, in this assignment, I want you to create a business problem. And the reason I say create is you can go to your work environment, you can imagine your work environment. You might have come across a article or a journal that is describing a specific business problem, which in a way is reflecting what is happening at your work. So remember, our assignments are vocational in design. In fact, the entire course is vocational in design. And therefore, everything you do in terms of this assignment is to help you get practical value. That means you have to also describe the problem statement in a practical way, probably through your current organization where you work or where you used to work. Now, you will need some help from your manager or from your fellow workers, so keep them on your good side, because you might have to ask them a few questions. You might have to figure out how business analysis work is happening at the topmost layer in your organization, where decisions are made as to the direction of the organization overall. Now, I'm expecting 4,000 words and a few figures and tables, but they have to be all your original work. And it's not because I am wanting original work only, but because if you go as a consultant and try and present a report to a board of directors in terms of your business analysis output, you cannot present any theory in that report. For example, you can't have a section which says what is business analysis. No one in practice is really interested in the definition of business analysis. So you can see how our course is different to a examination Although by preparing this assignment, you can be preparing yourself for an exam, should you decide to appear in one, or a competency assessment, or an interview if you need to. So please keep in mind that you need to know the theory, but through the discussion forums you have known the theory. When it comes to this particular assignment, you don't write theory, you write practical things. So you may want to do some research of your own, some googling to get some data, convert that into a table of your own which justifies your position. So at the end of a mind map, or at the end of the art of questioning that you will apply, you could be arriving at a root cause of a problem, business problem, and you are documenting all of that through whatever modeling mechanisms and templates and descriptions we decide on. So that means the template that I have provided can also be a nice basis for the professional report that you have to produce at the end, because that particular template will help you avoid the frustration and the effort of creating a template. Use that precise template, and once you put your thoughts into it, and once we have finished going through the iteration of marking, that report, that assignment 2 and assignment 1 are your assets. Now the way I have divided the marks, the 100 points, which will be scaled down to 50, I want you to create that problem statement. So yes, I will be there to okay it or modify it, change it if needed, but otherwise you are the owner of that problem statement. So define the problem. What is the problem that your business is facing? What is the need? So that's 10 points. Then what's the overall strategic approach to both understanding and analyzing? That is breaking the problem down into smaller bits in order to understand it. So you will have to go back to your lectures 2 and 3 in particular, and you can decide on a competency framework. You might say we're going to use SFIA, SFIA, but you can do a little bit of comparison or show your awareness of other frameworks and the decision you have taken to go with SFIA. I do want you to go with SFIA for the sake of this exercise. And you can assume that the solution that you're going to provide is going to be a software solution. And I mentioned that because in real life it is not necessary for you to have a software solution. It could be some other type of solution. So there are 10 points for that, and then there is the big section on business architecture and enterprise architecture. So you will find that the discussion on non-functional requirements, on usability aspects, on architectural aspects, they all are fitting into this particular section. So you might be applying some of the things you studied during the enterprise architecture lecture and some of the business architecture aspects. So subsequent lectures, I think around 8 or 7 or 8, and create your models, and that's 20 points. The other important aspect of this assignment is, in a way you are advising the decision makers, in a way you are advising the board of directors, or if not the board of directors, at least the divisional manager or the general manager. You are helping them decide on how to enhance the analytical capabilities of that organization. So it's an aside in a way, and that is the development of Center of Excellence for Business Analysis. So you could be deciding the frameworks to be used early, as you decided earlier on. You could decide on how the knowledge that is being developed as your organization undertakes business analysis activities can be stored, can be shared, can be continuously increased, enhanced. So for a large business transformation program, for example, your organization is not simply transforming, not simply changing, but also learning in the process many things that it would like to store in a knowledge base and make it available for future. And that's what this Center of Excellence helps you do. Other areas like metrics and measurement, what are the outputs of BA work, how to measure them, how to optimize them, is also a part of Center of Excellence. And then the Centers of Excellence enable an organization, a community of practitioners, to go out of the organization and learn and share through conferences, through discussion groups, through special interest groups, and so on, which is also a part of Center of Excellence. So as you move to senior, lead, consulting, business analyst roles, you could be asked to help an organization set up and promote its Center of Excellence for business analysis in this case. So that is a crucial aspect of this assignment, and I have put 20 points for that. As a revision, you can deal with the non-functional requirements. Those will be descriptive requirements of the solution. And you also need to focus on the quality assurance and testing aspect. Testing of functionality is relatively easy in the sense that you have a suite of data, either they are pass or they are fail, and you have that data comprises both valid and invalid data. But there could be testing of business needs. How do you validate business needs and whether they have been satisfied or not? How do you put together an overall quality assurance and testing of all requirements in the organization? These are the top business requirements in the organization. So I have put 10 points aside for that. And then the two stock standard sections. One is a section which is references. It is important that you learn to reference, and that's because as a BA, if you make business analysis as your career, which is what I am assuming you are, then you will have to continuously learn, continuously read, continuously go out and source from authentic sources. So simply going to websites may not be enough. You could be reading good journal articles. You could be referencing someone who is well respected in the industry. You could be reading books. And these books and these journals and whatever material you collect is also your part of your competency, part of your skill set. So you can refer to it. And I would encourage you to do that referencing in as formal a way as you can. And so I have put 10 points aside for that. And then the last 10 points are for clarity of writing. So do a spell check every time you submit, but don't do an auto spell check, do a manual one. Check the layout, don't change my layout, and you will be fine. And ensure there is no theory in your assignment, and that will make it a very usable assignment when you try and use this material in practice. So that's a fairly detailed description for assignment 2, but I hope it is helpful. Remember, this assignment together with the first assignment is a formative assignment. So it's not simply to test you out. In fact, there is nothing to test you out. It's not an exam. It's a real life vocational assignment, so that you get tremendous value when you use this in practice. All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.